Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to That's Football for the biggest game of the World Cup so far. It's Germany against Spain. Absolutely huge game. It might not be curtains for Germany if they lose, but you don't want to be losing a game like this because obviously the connotations of who you could play in the next round and how far you are off. I mean, look, at the end of the day, Germany want to be competing for this tournament. They don't want to be getting embarrassed by Japan and Spain. So I think it's going to be a really interesting game. And for Germany, certainly they've got to respond better than they did against Japan. And I mean, look, I suppose the first thing I would look at is the team news that's coming in. So Spain, obviously, Simon, Carvajal, Rodri, nearly called him Rodney, Laporte, Alba, Xavi, Busquets, Pedri, the Barcelona midfield, isn't it? Torres, Asensio and Olmo, and obviously loads of options on the bench, loads of good players on the bench for them. But Germany, Neuer, Sully again, or Sully at right back, don't agree with this. Carrère, Rudiger, Rahm, Gundogan, Kimmich, Goretzka, Gnabry, Muller and Musiala. I think he's right, but he's wrong. I think dropping Havertz was the right thing to do, but putting Muller as the striker, is that not the same as Havertz? You're basically playing with a number 10 as the number 9. I really do think it's a risk, but why not just try Adeyemi or Makuku up front? You know, play an actual striker up front, and I think they've got another striker who can play up front. I forget who it is on their bench. Who's the I think is it Fulkrug who plays up front as well. So look, I think Germany should have gone for an out-and-out number 9, and we'll have to wait and see whether that works or not. Apparently, we've got a bit of an echo. Oh yeah, I know what it is. No, I don't know what it is. Oh yeah, I know what it is. No, I don't know what it is. Oh yeah, I know what it is. Why am I getting an echo? Why am I getting an echo? Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello. Oh, this is dry. Has anyone got any ideas why I'd be getting an echo? I've never had this happen before. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. I'm stunned. I'm actually stunned. I've never had this happen before, and I've got no idea why it's doing it. Oh, it's working now. Thank you. It's weird though, because when I listen to that, I can hear myself echoing as well. I don't know that's never happened before. So something's obviously going on. I'm too hot for this. I'll have to put it on later. I'm too hot now. We're good to go. But no, but look, on a serious note, when I've got my earpiece in, I can hear myself echoing back, about 2-second delay. I've never had that before. And it's got me puzzled. I'm not going to lie. It's got me flustered. I don't really understand why it would do that. Wait a minute. I think I might have figured it out. Hello everybody and welcome to the Nightstand. Yeah, I had my... figured it out. I had YouTube on. What an idiot. So basically, I can hear myself back 2 seconds behind because my YouTube's open and my desktop is there. Idiot. Absolute idiot. Anyway, let's get ready to go. That's that drama over for another year. Yeah. Boomer problems. And now it's... I've just got to relax here. I'll try and relax a little bit. Don't get me in a bad mood before the stream's even started. I don't need technical issues when I'm streaming. Just give me the stuff. Give me the guitar and I'll play it. Kera is the right back. Sully and Rudiger playing through the middle. Also, Nabry is probably playing through the centre, says Roanoke. Thank you very much for that. So we're about ready to get going here. Can I just say that we're sponsored by... I'm sweating like a pig now. What's wrong with me? I feel like I'm bloody 50 stone. We're sponsored by Wash and Go on the show. In fact, I've just been in the shower. This is Wash and Go 2-in-1. You probably can't see it, but the QR code is next to me. It is real. Look, it's got a blue lid. Wash and Go, links in the video description. Get it delivered to your door. 2-in-1, clean, strong, and healthy hair. I don't know why I'm looking at it. I use it every day. Delivered to your door, 2-in-1. I use it every day. Fantastic product. But the reason they're sponsoring the show really is because we did an advert for this tournament together. The link's in the description if you've not seen it yet. All the behind the scenes stuff. A lot of people really enjoyed it. Check it out. And also you can get your Wash and Go delivered to your door as well. Scan the QR code. Big shout out to Wash and Go. One of my favourite brands that I work with. It's been a lot of fun, especially doing that advert with them. So big shout out to them. In relation to the context of this game, I feel that Spain will win. But I also just want to say, I think you can get lost with Japan winning so comfortably and... Japan beating Germany and Spain beating Costa Rica so comfortably. I think people think, oh, Spain are just going to take Germany apart. But Germany are not a bad side. I actually think Germany played reasonably well against Japan with absolutely no cutting edge. At half-time, the stats were massively in favour of Germany. I think they had, huge possession, and Japan had done next to nothing. And then Japan in the second half were really good. And Germany just carried on not having not having a cutting edge. They've got to figure out how to score goals, and maybe Muller in his experience can do that. But they've got that. I think if Germany can score goals, then they will be a threat. If they can't, then Spain will dominate. But Germany do like to get hold of the ball, as does Spain. So I think we might be in for a good game. I certainly don't think we're going to be in for a 0-0. And look, Germany are probably a little bit fortunate tonight that they're in a position where they're not heading out. If Japan had beaten Costa Rica, they would have had 6 points and Germany would have none with 2 to play. Pitch is 4.85 metres shorter than Old Trafford. There's no space, says John. 4-1 to Spain, says Connor. 10-1 to Spain, says Alex. Let's go Spain, says Larry. And 1-1 draw, dead draw in a dead World Cup, says Jack. You know what? The Canada game was good, wasn't it? Sad to see Canada go out. I'm actually glad I didn't do that watch-along in the end because I really like Canada and I was bitterly disappointed that they went out. But I did feel that when they lost to Belgium, they were going to leave themselves a mountain to climb. Very pleased that they got their first World Cup goal. But, yeah, sad to see Canada go. But they're gone. They joined Qatar as the second club to leave, don't they? So there we go. Hi Mark, hope you and the family are well, mate. Just split up with my girlfriend. Any tips to move on from her, says Chrome. Chromials. Any tips for getting over a relationship? The game's up and running, by the way. I think that you just gotta work through it, mate. Really, at the end of the day, time's a great healer. At least you haven't got to buy a Christmas present. You know, that's always a good idea. Watch the football keeps your mind occupied, says D4 Dunn. Yeah, you got lots of football to watch. Henry thinks it'll be 1-1. Anyway, we're good to go here. Paul says to get over one woman, get under another. Or man. You know, you don't know. Let's not be sexist about it. JP says, I blame you not streaming the game for Canada's collapse. We missed your calming voice. Yeah, I can't believe Canada are out. But if you don't get your results, you're out, basically. And that Belgium game, they shouldn't have lost. Even a point. John Hopkins says it's not the ball, it's the tiny pitch they play on. Are the pitches small? You got me thinking now. You know now, suddenly look like the pitch looks like it's a five-a-side pitch. A horse walks into a bar and yet England is the punchline of the joke, says Ayanda. And it's a duck, says off topic, but the tech issues show how genuine this show is, despite how annoying they can be. Okay, I'm going for a 2-0 to Spain tonight. Oh yeah, definitely. We're always riddled with tech issues. Yeah, so sponsored by Wash and Go. Don't forget to scan the QR code or go through the link in the description. Big shout out to Wash and Go. I'm just about to get the stats carousel rolling round because the game is up and running now. So you'll have all your stats, team news going round. Oh, for fuck's sake. Done it again. There we go. Stats carousel is going to start going round now. There you can see the group as it stands. With Spain would be on 4 and Germany would be on 1, but that's assuming it stays as a draw. There's a long time to go, and you'll start to see the stats and everything in a bit. What do you think of Pedri and Xavi? Oh, they're very highly rated players. You know, Barcelona didn't get through to the bloody. Well, they're in the Europa League, aren't they? So, you know, they're not Iniesta and Xavi, are they? Let's be honest. But maybe they can be. Maybe they can't be. I'm watching it on the BBC. Bills. What do you think about Messi nearing a deal to Inter Miami? I think it's a bit early, you know. I mean, I know. I mean, Messi knows his own body better than anyone else, really, apart from maybe his wife. But 35, he's not 36 till next summer. I suppose this season is his 35th. Next year, can he play at the top level at 36? I think he can. I think he's got another year at the top level. Maybe another 2. The way he plays football. But I suppose the glamour of going to the MLS, the money, he might want to do it. I don't know. I'd find it really weird, but you know, you can't say it's not going to happen. But I suspect Messi will make his mind up, you know, closer to the summer. He doesn't need to make his mind up during the World Cup in November, does he? Keep says Germany are going to win 1-0. It's a good fast pace to the first 5 minutes. My live chat has just completely died here, so there we go. Rayan says he fancies a 1-1 draw. Secret says thanks for the content. Do you think this will be the biggest game of the group stage, says Jack? It probably won't be the biggest game of the group stage because we don't know what game's in the third. I mean, United States-Iran's a big game. It doesn't, it's not just a big game because it's two big countries, but it's certainly the biggest game so far. Germany-Spain could be a quarter-final, it could be a semi-final. I don't think it'll be a final. I mean, in previous years, it could have been a final. I don't think Germany-Spain's going to be the final this year, but it's certainly a big game. Views on Phil Neville potentially managing Messi, says Nabil. Well, it'd be a dream come true for him, won't it? Seems to me Messi is not as concerned with records as Ronaldo, more a family man, probably likes the idea of living near Argentina and in America, says Harry O'Kane. And happy birthday to Harry, that's from Joseph Noble. And James says, Mark, you're a goat from Dublin. I watch United stand every day. I'm trying to put together a show in Dublin next year. That's my first place I want to go because I lived there for so long. There's a lot of United fans there. Well, there's a lot of football fans there. So that's the sort of first place I want to take the show on the road. So hopefully next year. We did get one cancelled just before COVID and I sort of want to honour that. Spain on the attack. Could have had a free kick on the edge. Oh, Neuer saves it onto the bar. Really could have gone for a free kick on the edge. Olmo with the shot. I thought this was going in. I mean, it's definitely a free kick on the edge. And Olmo, I mean, Neuer. If this goes in, to be fair, Neuer's in trouble, isn't it? Goes through the keeper. Oh, yeah, straight at him. Palms it onto the bar. Probably gets it. I think Neuer gets a bit lucky here. Moves about. Gets his fist on it. Palms it onto the bar. Good shot. Spain have started off well here. I will do the Super Bowl, Aaron. I enjoy it, yeah. Rahul thinks that Spain are definitely a contender for the Cup. Well, I was saying this afternoon. I mean, France have been massively impressive. We've only seen Brazil once, but they were impressive. Second time watching Spain. At the moment, there's three countries that are, looking serious. France, Spain and Brazil. Very good coach, though, Luis Enrique, isn't he? Ben's very sick. Spain are another level, says JR. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Mark, is Gatco a done deal? No, class, it's not. He's even done an interview today. Will United takeover be done before the end of the season, says MUFC123. I don't know. Flo says he's going to go for 3-3. Oh, come on. Give me some. Give me some of that. I bloody love it. 3-3. Yeah, I don't know when United's takeover is going to happen. Carl Ross says that Muller's got 10 World Cup goals and none in the Euros. Luis Enrique has to be a top 3 manager in the world, says Red. I think he'll end up, good tackle by Ram. I mean, Luis Enrique was linked with Manchester United. I mean, how long he decides to do the job with Spain, I think he enjoys the job with Spain, doesn't he? But I think if he left Spain, you talk about replacements for Jurgen Klopp or Pep Guardiola if they ever go, then I think Luis Enrique would be in that equation. Pedri looks good, says Loon Manding. As I say, any game can be 0-0 because it starts 0-0, but I'd be very surprised. It just doesn't. It feels like the tempo is way too quick, and neither team looks like it wants to sit back. I think we've got you can tell a game from the start, and I think a lot of the games in the World Cup we've seen. This is a lovely run out by Goretzka, feeds it in. Oh, great keeping by the goalkeeper. And then it's an offside anyway. But yeah, I think we've seen so many games in the World Cup so far where there's been a defensive side and an attacking side, and you can tell in the first 10 minutes that neither of these teams wants to be the defensive side. They both want to be the attacking side. So therefore, I think we're going to get goals. And this is what you want from the World Cup. This is what I want from the group stage. I think the first 10 minutes of this game have been fantastic, not because it's Spain-Germany, but because both teams want to have a go. And it's been such a rarity so far, and I don't understand it. In the group stage, why would you not want to have a go? I mean, the sad thing is, actually, Canada have gone out, and they're one of the teams that's trying to have a go. So maybe the actual, I mean, to be fair, maybe the approach is to be conservative because Canada are out. But both these teams clearly want to have a go here, which is good to see. Assel said there'll be a few teams that didn't have a go who go out, like Belgium. Yeah, I think we all want to see Belgium go out, don't we? Shockingly shit. The emphasis on sweeping in goal has made the World Cup even more competitive. Many international teams not conceding because the keepers sweep so well, says Red. Very interesting observation, Red. KP says, I'm loving this. Both teams want to play to win. I hope it continues. Yeah, and this is why we love football. There's a good pace to it. They're all very good footballers as well. I mean, you can tell it's going to be a good game because that Spain midfield three and that German midfield three, Gundogan, Goretzka and Kimmich up against Pedri, Xavi and Busquets. I mean, that's a high level competition in itself, and they're both playing to win, which is good to see. This is what we want to see. Thoughts on Musiala, Mark? And if he would have been picked for England, do you think Southgate would ever pick him at all? No. Southgate's like Ollie, isn't he? He just wouldn't pick. He'd go with his nepotism favourites. I've played the game, says Craig. I saw one earlier. Somebody said, "Who's your favourite pundit in the World Cup?" I mean, funny enough, Sugi's just said hypocrite Gary Neville working for Qatar national TV. I'm not here to call out any individual on what they want to do. It's up to them if they want to go and earn a bit of money before Christmas, isn't it? Each to their own. But in relation to best pundit in the World Cup, I haven't watched a lot of. I mean, I'm very fortunate that we have this community because we sit and watch a match and we are constantly talking that when a match is over, I don't need to watch the highlights or anything like that because I don't feel that I learn anything from the summary on mainstream. I mean, look, there are some good pundits out there, but I think we discuss things in such depth and go all over the place doing this that I don't need to listen. But so I don't know who the best pundit in the World Cup is, to be honest. I just don't know. Foul there, Spain. Have you watched all the games that you haven't streamed, says Assel? I have. I've had every game on when I've been working. There's been a couple that I haven't really massively in-depth watched because I've sort of been doing some work and then, you glance. But I've been listening to the lads and ladies in the studio, so I've been well up to date with what's been going on, yeah. I've played the game. But you know what? You know what gets on my nerves about punditry, actually, just thinking about it there? It's crap. It's really crap. It's really lazy. I know some of the people who do punditry, and I know, that they've played the game. And they have played the game. And they're very good at playing the game. But that doesn't make you a good pundit, and it doesn't make you a good manager. Just because you've played the game. There will be some things that you know, but it doesn't make you a good pundit just because you played the game. I mean, what really winds me up is that they don't watch the game. Maybe there's a complacency when you've played the game because they certainly, you listen to people like Souness on TalkSport talk about Martinez and Carragher talk about Martinez, and you just go, that's just a complete and utter stereotype. You're on national TV talking about stereotype. You're saying that he's 5'10", so he can't be a centre-back. Do you realise how stupid you are? And then, like United, we had a load of ex-players who they wanted to replace Solskjaer. Not one of them mentioned Ten Hag. It was Pochettino, it was Simeone. And now they're going, Ten Hag is a good manager. And I'm like, how did you not know who Ten Hag was? You're paid hundreds of thousands of millions of pounds every year to be a pundit on national TV. None of you mentioned Ten Hag. How do you not know who he is? How do you not know what football he plays? How do you not know that Martinez can play at centre-back? Like, how do you not know these things? You're going on national TV and you don't know these things. You're exposing yourself. Bloody hell, I'm watching the Morocco game earlier. There's people in our chat telling us about the Moroccan midfielder who plays for Toulouse and what a baller he is. I mean, I don't know that, but you've got normal fans who have that level of knowledge, and then you've got these pundits who they just don't know anything. They didn't even fucking know who Eric Ten Hag was. Oh, Martinez will never play at centre-back, he's too small. That's the level of what you're getting on national TV or radio every bloody week. And I'm telling you, they're not watching. I've played the game. You don't bloody watch the game. You don't watch the game like the typical fan does, who knows most players across Europe who are playing in the French league, in the Spanish league, in the Italian league, in the German league. The modern fan knows a lot about football, and the modern pundit clearly doesn't put the time in. And that's why I have a problem with it, because you want to listen to somebody who knows what they're on about, or at least has a grasp of what they're on about. And you listen to them come out with the shit that they come out with, and you just go, hold on a minute. You want Diego Simeone to be a Man United manager, and you used to play for Man United. This is a guy who gets a stiffy with 40% possession. There's a guy from Holland, Netherlands, who's took a team to a semi-final in the Champions League years ago and has just dominated the Eredivisie and done well in the Champions League last year. None of you have even bloody mentioned him. Do you watch football outside of what you get paid to watch? That's my problem with punditry. And it does need to be said. There are some very good pundits, but I don't think they watch enough football because they don't seem to know anything outside the Premier League. But then again, we've got a national manager who doesn't know anything outside the Premier League, does he? Gareth Southgate doesn't know anything outside the Premier League. And look, I'm not naming one pundit there. I've probably just given a broad stroke of most of them. 95% of them have just been caught in that net of what I've just said. So I'm not going to individualise it. And I'm certainly not going to profess to know everything. I don't know everything. I mean, like I said, this afternoon, we're watching the Morocco game, and somebody was like, who's this lad? And they're like, oh, he's brilliant. He's tearing it up for Toulouse. Toulouse have got some really good players. And I'm like, I didn't read it because I'm like, yeah, I don't know that, so I can't comment on that. But look, I don't need to know about Toulouse and the French league, and I'm never going to know everything. But I do know about Ajax. I do know about the best teams in the best leagues around the country, and I do know a lot about the up-and-coming players that are going to come through next. But some of them just haven't got a bloody clue. And they get, I suppose you could be. Look, I'm a champion of fan opinion. That's what I am. I always will be. And I just see so much more football knowledge in that chat I read every day than I do from this. And you know what? The best button I have? Mute. I don't listen to the commentary, and I don't listen to it after the game, because I just think you've proven yourself over many decisions that I don't agree with you. I mean, fucking hell, we had most of our pundits of Man United saying to keep Solskjaer. That was, for me, that was it. I'm like, God, if you genuinely think we need to keep him, I know he's your mate, but if you genuinely think we need to keep him, your ball knowledge of the modern game is scary. It's scary. Anyway, that was just my little opinion on it there. I'm shouting you lot out, I often say the knowledge I see on social media for football is just amazing, and I don't profess to have that depth of knowledge. I have a reasonable knowledge, but I think it's a shit knowledge. And then also the presenters are in the presenters in the main are crap as well. They've got no knowledge. They ask a question of one of these ex-players, and then they just go, yeah, interesting, and then they move on to the next one, and you think, why are you nodding your head at that? Why are you not pulling them up on it? Because you've not watched the game either, have you? Oh, you know what? All I'm saying is, if I ever got to present Match of the Day or Soccer Saturday or Sky or anything like that, and I'm sat opposite Paul Merson or, Jamie Carragher or whoever, and they go, Martinez is not going to succeed, he's only 5'10", I'm going to say, we've got one word for you straight away. Cannavaro was 5'10", and he's the only centre-back to win the Ballon d'Or in the last 20 years. But it's not in the Premier League, though, is it? No, it's the World Cup and Serie A, the most defensive league in the world. Also, if you actually look at Martinez, before he even came to the Premier League, he's brilliant at winning the ball in the air. What you got to say about that? But no, they just nod their head and go, oh, interesting. Let's move on to something else you can talk about shit about. Red says, punditry in Germany is so good compared to in England. If you watch the Bundesliga, they do live analysis of tactics from managers. They need to do real research in England to understand things better. Yeah, it'd be nice if they did a bit of research in England first, and then maybe they can progress to to beyond the borders of England and the European game. Anyway, this game's been good, but they are in a really weird way. They're cancelling each other out 0-0. We might have a 0-0 at half time because they're so aggressive in their press and they're so eager to move the ball quickly that they're actually cancelling each other out because they're so good. They're reading each other's, oh, bloody hell. Neuer. Did Neuer let that go? It's a shot by Alba off his right foot. Does it beat Neuer? No, he lets it go. He's got it covered. I was going to say, I'd be surprised if Neuer's getting beat on his front post from there. He knows his angles. Good goalkeeping. Good goalkeeping, that. People always go, oh, if the keeper misses it. But actually, it's brilliant goalkeeping because he knows where his post is and he doesn't need to touch it. Very good goalkeeping. But like I was saying about this game so far, one of the best games in the World Cup so far. We've seen some good games where, France has been better than Australia. They've been better than Denmark. We've seen Serbia and Brazil where Brazil have been better. We've seen Costa Rica and Spain where they've been better. We've seen England, Iran where England have been better. I think this is the first game where we've seen a game where it's a good game. They're both playing well, but they're both cancelling each other out. Attore says, I heard the Dutch pundits are really harsh. Yeah, but I don't think that's good. I don't think that's necessarily good punditry as well. I've heard Van der Vaart a few times, and I think Van der Vaart comes across as bitter, and we get some of that punditry in the UK as well. This bitterness. We've seen it with Ronaldo, look, Ronaldo's open season because of that interview, but last season there was a lot of bitterness as well. So I don't like bitterness punditry. The best pundits are the people who, I would love to turn on Match of the Day or Sky or TalkSport. I'd love to turn it on and hear something like this. Manchester United are interested in bringing Erik ten Hag to the job. You know what? This would be a great move. I'm talking as the pundit now. This would be a great move for Manchester United. You look at what he's done with Ajax in the last 4 years, how he's, controls that football club, the way it plays, develops players, dominates possession, wants to play on the front foot, wants to play high. He's a bit of a disciple of Pep Guardiola. He played under him as a reserve manager at Bayern Munich a few years ago. I think this would be a very innovative and good move for Manchester United if they go for Erik ten Hag. And if you heard a pundit say that, you'd go, they know what they're on about. They've watched a bit of Ajax. They're aware of the European scene and the up and coming managers. You'd love that. What you actually get is, no, I don't know. He's never managed in the Premier League before. They should be going for Poch, who's just failed at PSG because he managed Spurs to the top four a few times a few years ago. Why does De Gea not get in the Spain squad, says Jason? I'm a big fan of De Gea, but I don't really have a problem. I mean, the only problem he's going to have a problem with this is a few people and David De Gea. But I'm a big fan of De Gea, but I don't really care that he doesn't get picked for Spain because I think as a goalkeeper, I was talking to Ben Foster about this a couple of weeks ago. When you go to a tournament, lovely play by Germany there, but good cover defence by Spain. But Gnabry might get a shot off. Ooh, just wide. I was talking to Ben Foster about this, and he said that the trouble with international football is you pick 3 goalkeepers, there's only really one who's going to play. So you go to a tournament or you go on an international break, and if you're not playing, you're not playing. And all right, you're being picked, but you're not going to play, are you? What's the point in David De Gea really going to the World Cup if he's not going to be the number one? And it's up to Luis Enrique who he picks. And he clearly doesn't fancy David De Gea. At least with Enrique, he's a good coach. I mean, with Martinez and Southgate, they're not picking good players, are they? But You earn the right to do what you want to do as a coach if you're successful. I've got no problem with Enrique not picking David De Gea. I mean, I think David De Gea is a world-class goalkeeper, but, sometimes you just have those little intricacies, don't you? May we hear another Graham Souness pundit impression, says Charles. There might be one to come. Thanks everyone who's tuning in anyway. We've got 17,000 watching. It's a good game. It is a good game. I'm enjoying it. And we've had some shit 0-0s, but actually, one, I don't think this will end 0-0. And two, I think it's been a really good game. And I actually think for the first time in the World Cup, we've got a good game where it's 0-0 because both teams are really good. They're intelligent in their positioning. They're really trying to move the ball quickly, but both, when Spain have got the ball, Germany know what they're doing. When Germany have got the ball, Spain's defensive side know what they're doing. The speed of movement on and off the ball from both teams has been really good. The confidence to take the ball individually under pressure and try and find the pass is really good. Both goalkeepers, Neuer's just passed it to a Spanish player. Olmo, this could be important. Good block. Neuer's there. Could have been a mistake, but I was just about to say, both goalkeepers are happy to play out from the back. There's a high intensity to the game. And the most important thing for me is that, unlike most games in this World Cup so far, where you've got a team that's trying to attack and a team that's happy to counter, neither team wants to be the counter. They both want to be the attack, and therefore the game is very intriguing. Dissolved Boy says American punditry and live game commentary is in the mud. They overhype players and tailor content to people who don't watch the game. Your ESPN British pundits are crap. I hope none of them are watching, but look, most of our pundits are crap. But I don't see them as much as I used to, and I'm not going to name the names. That's not the purpose of this. But there used to be a time about 18 months ago where, and it's probably because United have got better now, you'd wake up on a Monday morning to somebody clipping up ESPN's talking about Man United, and there was 2 or 3 pundits that are American pundits who have played the game, and God, they don't watch the game. And if they do, maybe they do watch the game, but I don't know how they're watching the game. But yeah, they're not great. I personally think that football analysis has moved on now. And I don't think the mainstream media's caught up, by the way. I really don't. I don't know whether they've caught up or I don't know whether they're brave enough. But I certainly think, and look, maybe look, I'm completely aware that some people wouldn't like this, but I'm completely confident that I could sit, and I think most of you could do it as well. But obviously, I'm doing, I've been doing this for a few years. It's what I do. But I think your opinions are sometimes better than mine. Your knowledge is sometimes better than mine. But my point is, I think that the media has moved on, but I don't think mainstream media has moved on. I think there is better football opinion and analysis from fans than there is from people who just get a paycheck to do a job for a mainstream media broadcaster. And I'm completely confident, and have already done it, that I could sit down with most pundits and have a good debate. I'm not saying I'd beat them in a debate, but I think I'd give them a good debate because that's what I've spent most of the last 7 years doing. I don't just go, oh yeah, that's interesting. And I don't think anybody wants that to happen. But what you end up with is this whole, good interception by Rudiger, what you end up with is this whole gimmick thing of, let's sit down and have, let's you see it with Carragher and Neville, let's just have a big disagreement that'll go viral. I was contacted by somebody 2 weeks ago who said, can you come on and talk about Ronaldo? And I said, no, because I'm covering the World Cup. And they were like, oh, we're thinking about going with this person. And I said, why? They don't know anything. And they're like, oh, we just think it'll be really good it'll go viral for views. I was like, oh, fucking hell. And they said, what are you on about? I said, why are you trying to create viral? Why are you thinking about something going viral before you've even had the interview? How's about you give 2 people something to talk about that they're passionate about, and then you'll get something authentic. Cannavaro, Baresi, Poyal, all under 5'11", says VWR. Yeah, and to be honest, Poyal is one of my favourite centre-backs. I thought he was brilliant, and I also thought he was brilliant in the air. Great cross into the box there for Muller, who's there to head it away. Rodri, what a cross that was. But Rodri read it. Yeah, I loved Poyal. Cannavaro is probably my favourite centre-back of all time. Oz, Mark, if Lissandra and Varane have a good tournament and return healthy, could they be considered the best duo in the Premier League, says Oz? I think the two best centre-back duos in the Premier League at the moment are Gabriel and Saliba and Martinez and Varane this season. Lul says, do you think Japan can go through? I hope so, because I don't want it to be the last time I wore that kit the first time. But I think it's going to be difficult for Japan because obviously they've got to play Spain. And I think Spain will beat them. So will 3 points be enough? I see what you mean about the sweeper keepers. It's very difficult to get in behind against these teams, isn't it? Oh God, I feel like I'm a bit on my soapbox tonight. I don't know whether people want me to be or not, but there's another ball bouncing on the pitch in the background. There's another ball bouncing on the pitch in the background. Hi Mark. How was your apple pie with custard? I had it with ice cream multi-gamer. I was talking about it when I was playing Fall Guys on Twitch at 3 o'clock. Yeah, it was very nice. As apple pies go and not, it was nice. I do like it with custard, but we didn't have any. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to do it. And what else was I going to say to you, good people? We've got 12,000 watching now. I thought we had 17,000 watching. I don't know what's wrong with YouTube, but you're all very welcome. Maybe the stream went down or something. I don't know. It's messing around. I'd love to see you do something on Lad Bible. I have been asked to do it. I know what you mean. It's those head-to-head things, isn't it? You know what I said to them, if I'm absolutely honest, and it might come across as a bit arrogant, but I said, I'm not sitting down and doing a head-to-head debate with these people that really are just obsessed with viral shit opinions. I said, I do one with Gary Neville, I do one with Jamie Carragher, and they said, I don't know whether they do it with you. And I said, well, that's the level I want to do it with. I don't want to do it with some gobby person who is just going to talk complete shit and I'm just not going to respond to it. I want, if I'm going to have a debate with somebody, I want something back, and I don't want it to be about, Nunes is the shittest signing ever, because it's not true. And I can't even be asked to have a debate about something like that. Lovely ball in behind for Spain here. He's on the back post if he can put the cross in. He put the cross in. Oh, what a miss. What a miss by Ferran Torres. It was great play. He put the cross in. I don't think there's an offside there as well. His run was brilliant. Watch the movement of Ferran Torres here. They get it in down the left-hand side. He might have been offside on the first pass. But watch Ferran Torres here. The defender's watching him. Watch how he darts for that front post. The straight diagonal. Why he doesn't pass it in? I'm blaming the ball. I'm blaming the ball. I'm blaming the ball there. How does he not score? Was there an offside on the first bit? Yes, I think they've gone for an offside, haven't they? It's the ball's fault. I don't know. He should have scored. I think it might have been offside on the first pass, but it's been a really enjoyable game. It certainly might be 0-0 at half time, but I don't think it's going to be 0-0 through any whole. This has been one of the best games I've seen. I think it is the best game I've seen because it's actually competitive. Two evenly matched teams. Imagine that. I tell you what. I mean, I think it's been a good game, but imagine if Japan did have 6 points and Germany had to win. I mean, it's good enough as it is. Robert Iala was a great centre-back, was 5'10", says Jira. You know what? The centre-back thing, I do understand it. Traditionally, you would expect a centre-back to be 6'2", but it's very stereotypical. And it shouldn't be the be-all and end-all. Can I just say as well, stats carousel going round, that's the team, it's live. If anyone comes off or scores a goal, it's on again. Ferran Torres is on again. It goes for a corner. I thought I was watching a replay. It was virtually the same. Olmo down the left-hand side. Ferran Torres on the right-hand side. And he gets tackled this time. Good tackle. Yeah, this team going round is the team. If there's a goal, it'll be on their shoulder, yellow cards. If anyone comes off, you'll see a red arrow for the player that comes on their lower back. We should have the stats coming round in a minute. Obviously, Wash and Go is sponsoring the stream. Make sure you download it. Not download it. Here we go. Good block. There you go. That's what I meant. The World Cup group is as it stands. So that's as it stands. So at the moment, both Spain and Germany have an extra point because they're drawing. So that's an as it stands table. And then you'll have your stats coming round in a minute, hopefully, which I actually do want to have a look at. Yeah, so this is what was going to interest me the most. Spain actually dominating possession, 67%, 4 shots to 2. So Spain are the better sides, and Germany probably are playing a little bit more counter than I originally thought. I don't think they want to be playing counter, but I think Spain, surprise, dominating possession is not a surprise. The Stats Carousel is sponsored by OneFootball. It's a football app where you can get all your latest breaking football news, transfer news for all your clubs, all your stats. Download it for free on the QR code in the top right-hand corner or through the link in the description. OneFootball is a free app available on all platforms, so give it a go. That's going to be a yellow card, I think. Yeah. A lot of love for Danny Olmo, who's playing quite well here. Please subscribe, by the way. We're only 100 away from 844,000. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Get involved. We're doing every watch-along on That's Football. We've done every one so far. If I said this to you, it's only a week since the World Cup started. It feels longer than a week, doesn't it? It really, really does. Well, it does to me anyway. It might not feel like it is for you, but it does feel longer than a week. But it changes tomorrow. It does change tomorrow. It becomes a bit of a different tournament. No, after tomorrow it changes. So tomorrow we've still got 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock. We've still got that going on. But from Tuesday, it changes forever. The World Cup changes forever. We lose the 10 o'clock and the 1 o'clock. Goldbridge, give us a dub, says Man United fan camp. Kev, thought you were brilliant on both shows. I loved the feedback. Very, very good. Hopefully you'll be involved a lot more in the studio, but loved it. I don't know how to dab anymore. I'd look a twat. I always look like a twat doing a dab anyway, but I can't even remember how you do it now. Yeah, so tomorrow is the last day where it's 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Rock. And then get it out wide to Nabry. Here we go. Bit of space. It's past him. That's got to be a yellow card. And then on Tuesday, it changes to 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock forever. And we go down to 2 kickoffs a day until we hit the semis. So there will be 4 games on Tuesday, but 2 of them will kick off at the same time. So 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock after Monday. Which is weird. It's sad that we're going to get our last 10 o'clock tomorrow. You've got to tune in for the 10 o'clock watch along tomorrow. It's the last one. I want you all to wear black. You know, it's gonna be sad. That I can't believe it already. Cross comes in from Germany. It's a goal! It's a goal for Rudiger right on half time. What a header! The Spanish defence was in a right mess there. I don't know what they were doing. It was a 3v1. Were they playing an offside trap? I don't know. The cross came in and Germany are leading 1-0, but there was 1 Spain defender and there was 4 Germans lined up. So I don't know what Spain have done on that cross, but it's crap defending from them. They've been caught out there. We're going to VAR. Might be an offside, that's why. ZA United says, I'm calling it offside. Yeah, miles off. They played the line, Spain, there. I suspected that because when the cross came in, there's one Spanish player and 4 Germans. Yeah, offside. It's a shame. It's a shame. I think that would have been a good goal to go in. I don't think Germany are parking the bus by any means, but if one team to score first, Germany would make it interesting. Would you like to see Deitch as the next England coach? Surely he's one of the best options, says Ross. I like Sean Deitch. I like Deitchy, but he wouldn't be my choice. And yeah, a bit of a shame that didn't go in. But well, it did go in, but it's a bit of a shame it's offside. Smart defending by Spain, says Triple Z. I suspected they were playing the offside trap, but you never know. Might have beat it. FA Cup drawn tomorrow at 7 p.m, third round, says the Honest Tiger. Well, we can react to that then, because I'm doing Portugal-Uruguay tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. Really want Uruguay to turn up tomorrow. I know they got a draw in the first game, but who's in who did they draw? I get mixed up. I thought Uruguay drew with Croatia. They can't have drawn with Croatia. That would be ridiculous. They drew with South Korea. That was it. Big difference. Spain on the attack. Corner. Uruguay were Beth as well. Me and Beth predicted that Uruguay would be the dark horse of the tournament. And Adam and Charlie, didn't they go with Denmark? Remind me in the chat. I think Adam and we know when we're holding up the bits of paper. I know me and Beth went with Uruguay because she spelt it wrong. And I know Adam and Charlie went with the same team. And I think they must have gone with Denmark, yeah. Because it was dark horse of the tournament, so they must have gone with Denmark. They went with USA. I'm going to have to watch that clip back. Well, I tell you what, Charlie and Adam, I'm going to give them a big shout out then, because if they went with USA, I'm liking that. Very good observation. I mean, Denmark, maybe they will be, but I think Denmark had their dark horse tournament in the Euros. I think that they will. I think Denmark are going to struggle to score goals. I thought they played well against France, but the lack of cutting edge, you can get at that French defence. It does play quite high line and leave a lot of space. But what watch-alongs are you doing tomorrow, Julian? I don't know. I know I'm doing the 7 o'clock, but I have to be careful because I thought I was doing Canada today and I didn't. I'm convinced I'll be doing Brazil tomorrow at 4. I think I'm doing 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock tomorrow. But I always watch. I'll be watching at 10 o'clock, Cameroon, Serbia. I'll be interested to see if Serbia can bounce back and Cameroon as well. Brazil, Switzerland will be a good game at 4 o'clock. Switzerland are a good side. They don't get any mention at all. I mean, Switzerland could be a dark horse. I mean, I think Switzerland are a good side. I think Brazil will beat them, but that'd be good. South Korea, Ghana at 1 o'clock as well. Yeah, the last day of 4 results. They did say USA, says Ryan. Well done. Well done to them. Well done. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Don't forget, we're sponsored by Wash and Go. I've got my Wash and Go. I still can't make it visible because it's actually green, but it has got a blue head, and you can see the Wash and Go bit there. 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. I do use it every day. You can check out my advert I did for them through the link in the description as well. If you haven't watched that, where have you been? Delivered to your door on the link in the description. Lovely stuff, Wash and Go. I'm not going to drink it. Smells good as well. I'm not going to get any out because it is white, and when I've put the bottle down and I've got white stuff in my hand, people might think that something's going on, which it's not. Mark, you literally what? I've got to read that. I know he's a meme, but Morata has bad finishing, but people don't realise he has elite link-up play, says Daniel Kirk. Yeah, he doesn't really do a lot wrong for Spain. This much is Champions League-esque. Loving it so far, says Blin. I've loved this game. I think it's been a cracking game. Yeah, I do. We need to do a Wash and Go integration in the studio so that everyone can see what it looks like with the green. Good shot on the volley there. I think it was Rudiger. Van Basten. He thought he was. Well, it looks like we're going to get half time. Mark, will there be 2 watch-alongs when there are 2 games on at once, says Joel? I don't. We thought about that. So basically what Joel's saying is when England play Wales and Iran are playing USA, will you have 2 separate streams of watch-alongs? Personally, I think we just double up and have one stream with both games being watched. Because I've done that in the Champions League before. It's called a double watch-along. So you have both games on at the same time. It's not easy to watch both, but I think it works better because most people end up doing that anyway. Mark, do you think USA will advance? I hope they do, Penguin, but also I think Iran played very well against Wales. I think the hardest result will be if USA draw and go out having drawn 3 games. I think that will be harsh, but they will go out if they draw. They've got to win. So it's not, if it was, yeah, it's in Iran's favour, really, is what I was going to say. Neutrals or some of you idiots pundits will see Canada going early home early and laugh, but as a Canadian, I couldn't be more proud how well we've played, says YFRM. I don't disagree with you, mate, and I actually think you might be coming at it a bit aggressive. I haven't heard anybody have a pop at Canada. I think everyone liked Canada. I think you did play good football. I think you should be really proud. And I think that if you can keep that team together and maybe add something, I think that the next World Cup you will be, progressing into the knockouts. I think you're really unlucky not to go through. Croatia are very good, but Belgium was the team that you could have gone through second, really. But then again, Morocco, very good as well. Spain might get a goal before half time here. Will they have time to take the corner? Yes, they will. Referee says, go for your lives. Take it. So we're going to have another 0-0 at half time now. I think we've had something like, if anyone knows the stats, it needs updating. It was 14 from 26 this morning, and I think we've had 2 more. So I think it's 16 from 29 games have been 0-0 at half time. I think. Didn't mean to be aggressive, but hearing the TalkSport pundit lineups discussing football has led me to a lose faith in British football discussions. YK. Funnily enough, we were having that chat about 20 minutes ago, so maybe we can revisit that in a minute because there's something about fan media that's pissing me off lately as well. I think it's losing its independence, but remind me about that. We might come back to it. I've noticed a lot over the last few weeks and months about where fan media is going, and it's completely selling its soul and becoming not what it was meant to be, but no surprise where it's heading, and I think it's sad. Let's just have a look at these stats at half time. Let's have a look what we're doing. Okay, where are you? There you are. I'm going to take you and we're going to pause you and we're going to have a really good look at you. So yeah, what a half. What a half. Yes, it's 0-0 at half time, and we've had a lot of these 0-0s, and the World Cup's not been that great, etc., etc. But I tell you what, if we could get more of this, I wouldn't care if it was 0-0. What a half. Yes, Spain have had more possession, as we can see. I don't think that actually matters because I don't think it's been Germany counter-attacking. I just think Spain love to have possession, and it's very hard to get anywhere near 50-50 with Spain. So Spain have the possession, we know that. But I think Germany, you can tell by the shots, it's virtually level, 1 on target each, 4-3. Interestingly enough, Germany haven't had any corners, but passing accuracy, look at Spain, 88% to Germany's 80%. Spain are just possession beasts. They've been possession beasts for well over a decade now. They are very, very hard. If Spain played France, they'd have more possession. They are very... I don't think you can beat Spain on possession, but that game is so different to most of the games we've seen in this World Cup, where there is a team with attacking intent, and then there's a team that's really going to say, I'm going to counter you. Germany aren't looking to play counter. They're having to counter a bit because Spain are dominating the ball. But there's been periods of that game where Germany are really trying to be offensive. They're really, trying to play through Spain. They're really trying to push their line higher. But Spain are just very, very good. And it's been an intriguing watch because Germany are not giving any quarter. And Spain are like, well, we're going to try and beat you. I'm very intrigued to see if that chance for Ferran Torres would have been offside, because he should have scored. But apart from that, the Rudiger goal, which was offside, it's been quite an equal half. And I think none of us want 0-0s, but I feel that 0-0 should get exclusively into the good game club. It's not a bad game. It's a good game. Hi, Mark. I'm Iranian. Can you pronounce the word Iran as Iran? That's the correct pronunciation. Thank you. Iran. I don't know what you mean, Ali. Adding an extra A in it. What does that mean? Iran? I don't know. You need to type it. YK says, you always have real, unbiased and reasonable opinions. As a United supporter, I agree on your inputs and on the World Cup. You call it like it is. Why are English media biased towards certain players? I don't know. We have a real... I don't know. We do. We tend to go in on the foreigners more than we do the English players. We protect them. I don't know whether it's because they've got them in their WhatsApp groups or anything like that. But look, it's not just exclusive to Manchester United. I think it happens a lot. Carragher does it with Gerrard. I think if they played with somebody or, they're English, they just have this loyalty towards them. And again, that's something that hampers unbiased punditry, doesn't it? It's going to be funny if the USA draws Iran and Wales beat England, then USA will be bottom of the group despite not losing, says Aviv. This is the thing. It would be. I've just remembered the Ferran Torres shot that hit the bar. I forgot about that because it was so early. What a goal that would have been. You can draw 3 games in the World Cup and go home because 3 points normally doesn't get you through. But that's for another day. I think this group is intriguing. Let's just analyse the group a little bit as well. If you look at the group table as it stands at this moment in time, Spain would be cruising with 4 points. Japan would be in second place with 3. Costa Rica obviously beating Japan puts them in third place. And Germany would have 1 point. But of course, all Germany would then have to do is beat Costa Rica, which I'm sure they will. Japan will not get a draw out of Spain anyway, and Germany will go through. So what we expected to happen in this group is probably going to happen. Germany and Spain will go through. The interesting thing is who gets who in the next round, because looking at it, Croatia look good. And will it be Morocco? Will it be Belgium? We'll have to wait and see. But you can see Spain and Germany hitting the quarterfinals, can't you? Because I don't think there's anybody in that Belgium group that either of these two teams on this form would be massively concerned about. I'm not saying Croatia couldn't beat Germany or Spain, but I think that the way that they're going, they both look very good in this game. And if I was the German manager, I'd be saying I'm very happy with that half. Spain have been better than us on the ball, but there's not many teams in the world that are going to compete with them. Spain need to win. I voted for them on Warzone, says Impulse. And biased pundits, that's you, Goldfish, says Chad. Please give me an example and I will react to it. I want Japan to progress, says Jack. I want Japan to progress as well, but they won't live with Spain. They won't live with Spain. I mean, Key says Spain look beatable. Do they? I don't think they do. I think they look very strong. I can see Spain going to the semis, and then we'll see what happens. But I can't see Japan living with Spain. I can't see. Japan blew it today. At least get a point. Give yourself a chance. And look, Costa Rica. Do you think they deserved to win it? Well, they did. They won. And, Japan could have been sat here tonight with 6 points, and Germany could have been sat here at half-time knowing that if they don't win, they're out. Football's a funny old game, but I feel that I desperately wanted Japan to get something today. Why do you think Dani Olmo hasn't moved to a big club yet? Looked fantastic in the Euros, says Casual FF again. Where is Dani Olmo? I know he was playing in... Was he playing in Ukraine or Russia? I think he was playing in Russia. And he's at Leipzig, isn't he? And... Yeah, I don't know, especially because he's Spanish. I'm very surprised, but yeah, he's at Leipzig. So the thing about Dani Olmo is, where do you go? Is he going to go to Real Madrid or is he going to go to Barcelona? You've got to be a certain level to do that, and maybe Spain and maybe Barcelona and Real Madrid don't want him. So why would you go to Atletico Madrid or Valencia? So He's already playing in the Bundesliga. Is he going to go to Bayern? That's the next progression in the Bundesliga. Is he going to go to Italy? Probably not. So I'd say he's probably not moved because Spain, Real Madrid and Barcelona haven't gone for him. And Bayern Munich haven't gone for him. So his only other option is the Premier League. So maybe sometimes you end up with a player that's really good, but the move isn't there for him to go. So that's probably why he's staying at Leipzig. For the sake of neutrals, could Southgate at least play attacking in the grouping stage before moving to 100 at the back for the knockouts? Foden's better than Mount, says YK. And I think his contract is up at the end of next season, so will probably be sold in the summer, says Threefold Path. Thank you very much for your update there. Mark, Croatia's midfield versus Spain's midfield. Who's winning, says Nishant. I think that's going to be... that would be in the knockout, wouldn't it, if it happens? Obviously, I think Spain will top the group. And I think Croatia will top the group, so they won't play each other in the round of 16. I think what you're going to see is Croatia, Germany, and Spain... I think Spain, Morocco. If Morocco beats Canada, they will top the group, won't they? Croatia, Belgium's going to be an interesting game. Can Belgium find any form? Chan says, am I the only one who doesn't think that Phil Foden's a generational talent? I mean, generational talent's a big word. And I used it the other day, and maybe it was just being pissed off that Southgate didn't pick him. I think I almost regretted it as soon as I sent it. Is Phil Foden a generational talent? That's a big word, and I don't use it lightly. He is world class, though. He is a very, very good player, and we should be using him. He has the potential to be a generational talent. Is he Gascoigne? No. I mean, he can't get in the bloody England team. It's a shock. It's shocking that he's not in the England team. And I suppose to be a generational talent, you've got to be playing for your national team, haven't you? And he can't get in it at the moment. Spain's got more energy in the midfield, says Oscar. It's a younger midfield for Spain as well, isn't it? I don't think Foden's overrated. I think he's a brilliant player. But and Sam, I can't see how he's not fit because he was playing for Man City a week before the World Cup. Mark, pick one player United haven't been linked with that you would like to see us sign this summer or January. Has to be realistic, says YK. That's almost the impossible question because I don't know what it's like at everyone else's club, but Man United get linked to every player. So, I would like to see us buy a Jude Bellingham or I'd like to tell you what I'd like. There's a few players on display tonight I wouldn't mind us buying, and we've not been linked to them, but we won't buy them. I mean, I like Musiala. I think he's brilliant, but he's not going to leave Bayern Munich to come to Manchester United, so it's not realistic. I think anyone that's being realistic, we've probably been linked to, in honesty. Hi Mark, thoughts on Xavi? Interesting player, says Juan. They sort of come as a pair, don't they, Xavi and Pedri? And they're very, very good players, but and they're obviously going to be part of Spain and Barcelona for many years to come. Harry O'Kane says, if Foden's so good, why is he not scoring 15 plus goals per season off the wing? Look. Is it always about goals? Could he score more goals? I think he could. I mean, how old is Phil Foden as well? I think that's always an interesting thing to bring into the equation. Look, at the end of the day, I think he's a divider, but he should be starting for England. I think he's a quality player, and I'd like to say he's not. He's 22, and he's only just 22, really. He's 22 and a half. I think he's a fantastic player, and I think he should be playing for England. And I don't like saying that because obviously I don't like Man City, but he is fantastic. According to Brazilian insiders, it seems Fred will get his place back in the starting 11 in place of Neymar. Fred has something over so many managers, says Billy Jones. Why would you play Fred ahead of Neymar? Why would Fred replace Neymar? Surely Neymar gets replaced by Jesus or Anthony or Martinelli. Why would you play Fred there? I don't know. Mark, what if... what was that? Hi, thoughts on Hot Toys? I love them, says Apollo Gaming. And Mark, what if England finished second in the group? And that was from Arturo. If England finished second in the group, then we would play the Netherlands, probably. and we'd go into a different side of the draw. And I don't know that path. If we finish top of the group, we're going to end up playing France in the quarterfinals. If we finish second in the group, I don't think England wouldn't beat Netherlands, by the way. I mean, Ecuador drew with Netherlands. Mark, who do you think will make it out of Group A, Ecuador or Senegal? I don't know. Oliver, I don't know. I think Ecuador look good. Mark, any thoughts on you going pro in ice hockey, says Apollo? I don't know what you're on, Apollo, but I feel like runner-up Group B has an easier side, to be honest, says Javier Wilson. Yeah, I haven't looked at the paths, really. Eric says it would be Netherlands and then probably Argentina. I think England will finish top of the group because player of the tournament so far, says YK. Well, it's unfair, isn't it? Because some teams have played twice and some people haven't. But I probably would say I've been very impressed with France and I've been very impressed with Mbappe. So, yeah, a bit boring, but there you go. Group B is England. Yeah, I can't see a situation where England don't finish top of the group, really. We won't lose to Wales. We might draw. That would give us 5 points. And as long as Iran don't beat United States, that would keep us top. So I'd be very surprised if England don't top the group. I can't see Wales. I cannot see Wales beating England. And even if they do beat us, we'll still go through. So I just can't see. I can't see it. I think we will be top of the group. Yeah. Talk about Portugal, says should be known. What do you want me to talk about Portugal? Playing tomorrow night against Uruguay. Very much looking forward to it. Hope it's going to be a good game. And yeah, they're my dark horse for the tournament, Uruguay. And Portugal are probably the most likely winner of the World Cup for a team that's never won it. I think we were talking about that this afternoon, weren't we? Which team is most likely to win the World Cup who's never won it? I would say Portugal. But Portugal are a bit like England. You never know what you're going to get, do you? What player has surprised you the most, says Michael? There's been quite a few. I think there's been quite a few surprises from, even today I thought that Morocco were very good. Very, very good. Been very impressed with Canada, United States. But to go a little bit left field with a popular player, I actually think Griezmann has surprised me a lot, He's looked like a player that's a bit washed. And he's played very, very well in this tournament. Okay, we're up and running with the timer now. Ladios says it's very clear to see that it's hard to score against the USA. Yeah, and Iran have got two good players, haven't they? Asman and Tamiri, isn't it? Tamiri. They've got, two. Iran's strong point is their forwards. There's a lot riding on that game as well, Iran, United States, politically as well, isn't it? So I just don't. I'm very intrigued with that game. Obviously, I'll have England Wales on, but I'll have my little screen on as well. Alex says, I think Griezmann's problem is Simeone. And you may well be right, because at the end of the day, isn't João Felix's problem Simeone as well? I don't know what, but you know what? Who's João Felix's agent? Why did you let him go to Atletico Madrid? Regardless of the wages, did you not do your homework? João Felix's bloody agent is like the UK pundits. They're not watching football, are they? Why would you send him there? Rabiot's been very good as well, YK, you're right. Spain down the outside, cross comes in, Manuel Neuer's going to jump on that. YK says Rabiot's been better than you said he was in the summer. But you fell into my trap a little bit. Ball over the top, Muller, keeper hasn't come for it. Still in, Muller. Oh, good defending. I think it was offside anyway. There is a kickback to this. Yes, Griezmann's been very good, and he's not been very good in club football. Yes, Rabiot's been very good and he's not been very good in club football. What's the link? International football is not domestic football. Domestic football is on a different level to this. You live in a bubble for the World Cup or the Euros. The quality, if you put Man City against Spain or Germany, they'd probably be 2-0 up. Chemistry, rhythm, familiarity, fitness. There is a difference between international football and domestic football. It's a logical difference. You cannot expect Germany, Spain, Brazil, France to be able to take on a Bayern Munich or a Man City or a Real Madrid when they only meet up a couple of times every 6 months, and they don't play each other. They don't play with each other 3 times a week. So you can shine in an easier surrounding. And for Rabiot and Griezmann, that French squad's always been tight knit. So, you know, I wouldn't be rushing to buy Rabiot off a good World Cup, is what I'm trying to say. Felix's problem is not Simeone, he's overrated. Forlan, Aguero, Griezmann, washed. Suarez all hit 20 goals a season with Simeone. Felix hasn't hit 8, says Fino. There you go. Merlin says Simeone will soon be saying, ciao, Felix. Why, is he Italian? He's Argentinian, though, so there is that Italian connection. So it still works. There is a United Stand show coming out at 9 o'clock. Yeah. Please do subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Just having a bit of a stretch. Germ says, are you worried about it being 0-0? I think this is the most unlikeliest 0-0 I've watched. But it can happen. You can have a really good 0-0. I don't think it will be. I think we've had enough in the first 50 minutes that would make you think that it won't be. Why was the German goal disallowed, says Blair? It was disallowed because it was offside. I can't moan about that. You know me. If there was a way for me to moan, I would. Right, Germany got a free kick here though. Similar position on a different side of the pitch. Kimmich is behind it. So this is a very similar one to they scored. Let's see if the Spanish defensive line does it again. They held their line last time. And Germany weren't able to stay on side. Now, I don't know whether I'd risk it again. And they have risked it again. And they're all offside again. So that Spanish line is stepping up and playing the offside trap. I'd just run 5 metres deeper. Yeah, they've all been caught there. It's dangerous if you get it wrong. Very dangerous. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say at half time about, you know, we've been talking about punditry and fan content, and I'm a big fan of fan content. I'm a big fan of, you know, the community we've got, and you get really good, in-depth, unbiased opinion. A lot of people always ask me, is there any other fan content influencers that you like or listen to or respect, etc.? And there are 1 or 2. And again, I didn't name the pundits, so I'm not going to start diving into that where people can clip me up. But one thing I have noticed in this space, and I don't like the word fan channels because I don't like that word. I think it's tainted with people standing outside grounds shouting shit for likes. But fan media is probably is a more grown-up word. But what I have noticed in the last few months, and certainly over this World Cup, is the amount of influencers who've just become arse lickers. Like, the whole point of the fan media movement was to give fans a voice and be opinionated. And it's like those people who were meant to be doing that, they've suddenly got themselves into positions where they can talk to these ex-players and presenters, and they're right up their arse. And I'm like, that's up to them to do that. Of course it is. But I'm like, our role was not to break through into that world and be like, oh, I'm here, look at me having a picture on Instagram. Our role as fan influencers was to break the mold, not to become part of that world. How can you sit there talking about how poor the punditry is in the mainstream media and then build a career as a fan influencer, and then when you get into that world, be like, oh, I'm sat with them, yeah, I'm sat with them. It's all become... It's a shame. It's a shame. It doesn't make me angry. I just think it's a shame because I think that, there's been so much done in this space over the last 5 years to create this thing that never existed for fan opinion. And now some of those people are rubbing shoulders with these people, and it's like they forgot, they don't dare say anything about it. Oh, no, I'm here now. It's just all gone very... It's like arse licking the mainstream media, isn't it? I don't know. Like when I have my show on Talk Sport, and people will say, well, you do a show on Talk Sport. It's my show. It's the Mark Goldbridge show. You don't have to watch it, but it's the Mark Goldbridge show. I go on the show. It's my show. People call in. I talk to them. We argue about whether, or debate, or have a conversation about whether Frank Lampard should be sacked. I'm not calling in to have a chat with Gabby Agbonlahor and let him, have his opinion and me go, yeah, I agree with it. Can I have a picture? I just think, we're trying to build something new. And it's, I agree with you, Al. It's become a bit of a fame game, isn't it? I'm at the World Cup and look at me, it's great and everything like that. And I'm like, fucking hell, that's not what we were trying to build. That's not what I see every day on social media with people talking about players and opinions. Anyway, that's what I was going to talk about at half time. So I'd reminded myself in case somebody actually gave a shit. Most of you probably don't, and I'm probably saying just get back to the game. We've had 8 minutes into the second half here. And it is still 0-0. How long it's going to stay like that? A lot of these 0-0 games tend to get the goal around the 70th minute, don't they? So substitutions will be key. Sebastian says, it's a shame. Sorry, what did you say? Let me read it. Sebastian United says, this is funny. This will make everybody laugh, actually. I'm glad I spotted this one. So, Sebastian, I'm sorry you're going to get replied to. You probably want to get replied to, but he says, it's a shame you've slagged punditry off. Now you're trying to be like them with a professional studio. What's that about? My eyes would be throwing up if they could. What are you talking about? That studio that we've built, can you please tell me one that's anything like it? Because it was designed from scratch by the United Stand and everyone involved in it. Yes, it looks professional. Yes, it's got good cameras. Yes, it's a studio, but it's not like anything else I've ever seen. And it's still fan content people having a chat instead of on StreamYard in bedrooms like any fucker can do. It's just providing a workspace that people can work in and film in. And we thought, you know what? Let's have something nice to do it in rather than sit against a white wall on two crap chairs. So I don't know what warped world you live in, Sebastian. There's a lot of people like you out in the world who just want to hate, but you've missed there. You've thrown the dart and tried to hit the bullseye, and you've hit your arse. Somehow, I don't know what you're on about. And YK said, "Oh, hold on, Germany saved! Oh, good save. I think it was Kimmich. Simon makes the save. They got into trouble at the back. This is the thing when you're passing out from the back, it can lead to problems. Kimmich actually made the press, then he got the shot, and he tried to side foot it in, and Simon just palms it away. It was Kimmich. Kimmich actually pressed and won the ball, and then got it back from Gundogan to take the shot. YK says, stop calling it fan media. Fans are football pundits, as you've said. Don't even watch the games. What makes Souness's opinion more valid than yours? But he's played the game. That's why. Side says, as a Leipzig and United fan, it's nice to see our boys performing well this season. Very likely Nkunku and Olmo will be leaving this summer. That's the story of many clubs, isn't it? It's a shame, really. And, Leipzig, if you think about the number of players that end up leaving them. It's part of the model, isn't it? You know, you've got Sesko coming in from Salzburg. He'll play for you for a couple of years, and then he will go somewhere else. Werner's left, Upamecano, Canate. You know, it's the way it goes, isn't it? Bottled my super chat because you know it's true, says Curtis Brooks. Curtis, will the United stand be on the radio? Just waiting for United to win a trophy. The blue super chats don't flash up on the top chat thing. That's why they get missed. I try to read them, but sometimes my eyes watching the game and the chat's quick, so I don't see them. So oh, Curtis says, you say that, Mark, yet you openly said the other day that you turned down chances to talk to Souness and other big pundits. Are you scared? Well, I'm not scared of reading your super chat. Curtis, I speak with honesty with my community, and if you were watching that stream, which you clearly were, you've chosen to leave out the most valid parts. One, I didn't know Souness was going to be the pundit. I was asked to go on the Piers Morgan show to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo on, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday night. I think it was the night the Brazil game was on. It was for a 5-minute segment, and it was meant to be with David Seaman. And I was like, I'm not going on Piers Morgan's show to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, which is old news, with David Seaman for 5 minutes, when I can sit with the people who really matter, which is you, watching a game of football for 2 hours. So that's why I didn't do it. And then Adam did it instead, and it was Graham Souness, and I was like, oh, I'd love to have done it with Graham Souness, but 5 minutes, no, I'd still make the same decision. I still make the same decision, and I've not turned anything else down. So that's it. I'll answer your questions, Curtis, and I'll answer them honestly. But like a lot of things in life, some people just want to make lies up about what the truth is, and yet you're actually making a lie up. A lie is a lie. The carousel's frozen, apparently. You're right. Let's get it going round. Don't forget, OneFootball sponsor our carousel. You can download it for free. Links in the chat. Amazon. What am I on about? Amazon Prime. I get lost between streams. OneFootball. All your breaking, latest football news, transfer news, stats. Download it for free. The OneFootball app. It's available on all platforms and it's free. And Kimmich has picked up a deserved yellow card there. Late on Olmo. That's what a yellow card should be for. Not malicious, but was a foul. People are always trying to catch me out, mate. Stefan. You either... Look, I don't mind if people don't like what we do. That's absolutely fine. I always say this. I do not like the One show. I never liked it. And Jermaine Genius does it now, so I like it even less. But I don't watch it. And I don't think about it unless I'm using it as an example of something I don't like. I don't go to bed at night going, I hate the One show. I'm getting mixed up now with OneFootball. I love OneFootball. Download it for free. I don't think about the One show. I don't like it. I don't think about it. And if they did a live stream every night, I wouldn't be in the chat going, I don't like it. I'm trying to catch you up. Love the content, says Damon. I've played the game. What will you be doing in the studio after the World Cup? Would love for you to have a chat with Souness, says Damon. Look, whether we can arrange those things, I probably think not. Because I think that they're scared of doing that sort of thing. And that's not because we're Billy Big Bollocks. I just think they're scared of putting themselves into that situation where they might get exposed. And I understand that. So, look, that studio is open for that sort of thing. You know, we're more than happy to have journalists, ex-players, people in the media come in, have a look around, have a cup of tea, have a chat. How many people will actually take up that option? I don't know. It's up to them. You've got to respect that. But I think most of it is down to fear. But you've got to respect that. And it's our base in Manchester now. We want to build it out. You know, my big plan for the United Stand was not always made public, but I don't want to stay doing it forever. But I don't want it to be for nothing. So I want it to be based in Manchester because that's where Manchester United are. And we've already got some people working there and we want to get more goal. Morata, there's the goal for Spain on the hour mark. Lovely goal. Flicked it in. And Spain may well celebrate because that's just a fantastic goal. And as somebody was saying at half time, Morata may well be a player that ends up with memes for misses, but for Spain, he's remarkably effective, especially on his link-up play, and the finish there is fantastic. And Germany, they look so downhearted because ultimately Spain have been the better team tonight, and they've worked it, and they've worked it really well. Olmo into Alba, cross comes in, there's no offside there. Sulai is a bit slow. He's a bit slow there, isn't he? I don't know what he's doing, but he's just slow to the ball, and there's not a lot Manuel Neuer can do. It's a lovely finish by Morata. Outside of the foot, flicks it up. Lovely goal. Lovely goal. EA Sports, I've played the game, says the Inquisition. That's a cracking goal by Morata. Cracking finish by Morata. Lovely worked team goal. And Enrique's loving it. Curtis says, what about the overlap? I watch you every day. I agree with you mostly, but you can't say people who take the chance rimlet when you won't do it. We need you to. I don't know what you're talking about, Curtis. Mark, has anyone asked you this question? What's the end game? Says Sharath Math Fitness. I've never watched Marvel. Well, I'm just going back to Curtis. What about the overlap? I watch every day. I agree with you mostly, but you can't say people who take the chance rimlet you when you don't do it. Well, I'm not going to be on the overlap, am I? Because the man, they pick the same person all the time and they won't change it. Alvisa saying Germany, says Joshua Bowart. No, it's not Alvisa saying Germany. If they can beat Costa Rica, they'll probably still go through. So look at the group stage there. Germany on 0, but if Japan lose to Spain, they stay on 3. If Costa Rica lose to Germany, they stay on 3. So Germany can beat Costa Rica. It will come down to goal difference, won't it? Spain could be 2. Oh, why didn't you take a touch? You had all the time in the world. Asensio, all the time in the world, and he doesn't take a touch. I think we can blame it on the ball again, says Marsha. I do. I did just think that. He puts that way over the bar. Oh, Sharath says, I meant the end game with your content creation and the United stand. Have you thought about 5 years from now? I am starting to think about that because, yeah, there has to be an end game. And I think the studio in Manchester putting back into the area where the club is really important. Yeah, there is an end game in place, and it's always been about evolution. Obviously, got That's Football as well. We do That's Football stuff there as well. So it's not just United Stand. This channel, I love this channel. It's a great community. So it's not just United Stand. Everyone always says the United Stand. They always say, well, what about That's Football? It's got nothing to do with Manchester United. It's closing in on 1 million subscribers in the next couple of years. It's a fantastic community, and a lot of the people who watch that aren't United fans. So it's not just about that. It's not just about United Stand. It's about this as well. And having the studio in Manchester, a physical presence where people can go to work every day, and there's a space there that we can expand in, and that's what we're looking to do. I think we're going to have some, hopefully before Christmas, we're going to have some sort of like open days where we can, just get people to come in and have a look, and if they're interested in the industry or they're already in the industry and they want to get involved, there's a lot of things. So yeah, that's the sort of plan. It's going to, I'm not planning on going anywhere for. I think in the past I've said, it might be my last season or anything like that. I'm not planning on anything like that drastic in the next. Look, to be honest, I want to go to the World Cup in 4 years' time. So that's the plan, is to keep going. Certainly with That's Football till then. United Stand, I don't know, because Manchester United is a passionate thing, and even with the sale that's going on with Man United at the moment, I can see people falling out already, and I'm like, it gets to a point where you're just like, I don't want to be political. I want to just talk about football, and there has been times with the United stand where I've gone, well, I'm never going to not support Manchester United. I'm never going to stop watching Manchester United. But there's been times where I've thought I don't really want to do content at the moment because it's just getting a bit, aggressive or, over the top. And I don't, it doesn't need to be like that. So I don't know what the evolution for me is, but I have an idea of where I want it to go. I'd like to do a podcast as well, Adam. We're talking about me too much. There's a great game of football going on here, and Germany are in trouble. Let's get back on what we're watching. So Germany, 20 minutes to go. 23 minutes to go. Spain have scored first. Germany now are in trouble. Goal difference could be key. I want to just have a quick look at the stats carousel and actually pause it. Have I paused it too late? No, it's fine. We can go back. So what... I haven't paused it. I have paused it. So what catches my eye here is the goal difference. Japan's goal difference is 0, but Germany's is 2. So that's not relevant at the moment because Japan haven't played Spain. So if Spain beat Japan 1-0 and Germany beat Costa Rica 2-0, Japan's would go to -1 and Germany's would go to 0. So at the moment, Germany are still in a very good position. If they beat Costa Rica, they'll go through because I think Japan will lose to Spain. It looks scary for Germany, but I still think they're very much in the, not the driving seat. They're not in the driving seat when you've lost 2 games, but I still think they're very likely to go through, in my opinion. But yeah, their goal difference is -2. I said that. Hi Mark, hope you're well. You don't know why, but I only send Super Chat minute for €12, but totally worth it. What do you think is problem with Germany? Good timing, Said. Spain should play for a draw versus Japan, says JG. They might. That's probably what Germany are scared about. What's the problem with Germany? I think whatever happens with Germany, it must be unprecedented to win the World Cup having lost 2 games. So I think the disappointing thing for Germany, and knowing a few Germans, is they'll know that they can still go through, but they'll also know that they're not going to win the tournament. And the amazing thing about German mentality is second place ain't good enough. So they'll be concerned about that. Have you thought about renaming this channel since other people are routinely on the channel? A name like That's Football instead of you name only sustainment. Yes, I have. But that's the evolution, isn't it? This is our world. Thank you very much for the super chat. I was actually thinking about it the other day. United done apparently 5.8 billion 100% on Twitter. Yeah, mate, I saw that tweet this afternoon. The fact that idiots believe a Twitter account that was set up a few weeks ago, I'll never fail to be amazed. If people think I'm going to comment on the sale of my football club like people talk about transfers from shitty little made-up accounts, you got another thing coming. I will not be commenting on the sale of Man United like it's a bloody transfer rumour. Why are there very less quality number 9s these days? It's like nobody wants to be a striker, says Sharas. You know, everyone wants to be a striker, don't they? But you're right. All right, we've had a few substitutions now, as you can see. The red arrows underneath simplify a substitution. So Germany have made 3. Sebastian's still crying. Well, I think you asked a silly question, Sebastian, but, you know, respect. Spain could play their B team, says Liam. They could. I think that's why Germany are a little bit anxious here. A lot of you did predict Spain to win 2-0. which is still realistic. Let me just go through some of the substitutions. So Xavi came off for Atur. I can't pronounce the name. Morata obviously came on for Torres and scored. Coke, I can't pronounce his name either. Never have been able to. He came on for Asensio. And then in the German substitutions, Klosterman's come on for Kehrer, Sane's come on for Gundogan, and Füllkrug has come on for Muller. And he nearly got on the end of something there, but Rodri did enough. I'm crap at pronouncing names, always have been. It's not dyslexia, I don't think, but I'm rubbish at pronouncing names. Sometimes I do it on purpose, though. Nice ball. He's got to take this chance. You are bloody joking. You're joking, mate. You're joking. Simon makes the save. He's got to score that. He has got to score that. Musiala. Lovely run. He's way onside. He's one-on-one. He could sweat it. He could sweat it. He could sweat it as well. Oh, what a chance. There should be 1-1 there. It's Musiala, so we'll let him off, but he's got to score that. And another header over the bar. Germany are knocking on the door here. It's the ball. Says Shama. I think he had too... You know what? I think he had too much time. I mean, to be fair, he's only an inch off it going in. It hits the keeper on the arm. The square ball was on. The sweat was on. I don't think it's going to finish 1-0. Cracking game, though. Really enjoyed it. Probably the best game of the... Well, it is the best game of the tournament because of the profile of it, but it's also been a very good game. Please do subscribe, by the way. We're on the road to 845,000. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We're doing every World Cup watch-along. Remember, tomorrow is the last day of 10 o'clock and 1 o'clock kickoff, so don't miss the last 10 o'clock and 1 o'clock kickoff tomorrow for the watch-alongs. It's going to be a sad day because from Tuesday, the kickoff chimes change to 3 and 7. That's it for the rest of the World Cup, 3 and 7 o'clock. I think we get about 10 days of 3 o'clock and 7 o'clocks, though. But, of course, the third round of group stage games, people in the same group kick off at the same time. So England-Wales on Tuesday at 7 o'clock kicks off at the same time as United States against Iran. So, yeah, offside. It's been a good week of watch-alongs. I've loved it. I've loved the You know what? I've got to give... we'll have a night out at the end of it anyway, but I've got to give a massive shout-out to Adam, Beth, Charlie, Jordan, Kev, Ricky, and obviously Ryan behind the scenes, because I don't watch any other football content, really. I don't. But every watch-along I've not done, I'll admit I've been doing my work a bit, but I've loved listening to it and watching it. It's been great. Really enjoyed it. I think the studio makes a big difference, but I think they've really benefited from getting out of this fucking rubbish StreamYard world where you sit there in one room in one area and one room in another. It makes such a difference to be in the same room. So yeah, I've really loved it. Yeah, Charlie Morley is the old school football YouTuber. Hi Mark, thanks for the great coverage. I think it's the hot, dry air, not the ball. Basic physics, says Simon. Might be basic physics to you, Simon, but to some of us, it's... yeah, I don't really know what you're on about. Fex says, just asking me if I'd go on any other podcasts. You got to be invited, mate. You got to be invited. And a lot of people don't ask you in this industry. Which is fine, it's up to them. But... you know, I got invited to do the Ben Foster stuff, and now I do it most weeks, and I love it. So, what's your favourite film currently? I watched the film last night, actually. Let Him Go with Kevin Costner in it. I think it's trending number 4 or 5 on Netflix. I'd never heard of it, so I watched it. Proper Saturday night film. Would I recommend it? I quite enjoyed it, you know. I probably would never watch it again. It was good, but it was for me, to me it felt like a combination of films. Yeah, I quite enjoyed that. We're getting to that point now, though, aren't we? Where I think this time of year, when it comes to films, nostalgia comes in, because you got to watch all the Christmas. I was watching Home Alone 2 this afternoon with Seb, so that's the first Christmas film we've watched. Probably end up watching The Nativity, Elf. Then I'll watch things like Die Hard. Or I always watch The Revenant at Christmas. It's not even a Christmas film, it's just the snow. And there's nothing festive about being attacked by a bear. But I just always watch The Revenant at Christmas. Hi Mark, are you a Christian regarding your cross bracelet, says the Turbo Man. So, yeah, that is a cross on it. I'm not massively religious. I respect all religions. You know, I respect, you know, different opinions and everything. So I'm not massively... but I went to a Church of England school. Not through choice, it's just the way it went. I enjoyed it. You know, I enjoyed like this time of the year, the Nativity and singing, you know, hymns and stuff. I mean, you can't beat a bit. You can't beat a bit of Slade, and you can't beat a bit of the Pogues at Christmas. But nothing compares to Good King Wenceslas or Silent Night or Hark the Herald Angels Sing. I love all the hymns at Christmas, but I don't go to church. No, I'm not. I'm not that avid, and I'm not about to start giving you my opinions on what happens to us when we die, because it's not fair. It's like crap pundits on TV who aren't even very good at being a pundit, but want to ram down their beliefs and politics to you, isn't it? I'm not going to start telling people what I think about things because it's offensive if you don't agree with it. Are Germany going to equalise? I think they are. That's a foul. Edge of the box. Foul to Germany. I think they're trying to get a handball here, are they? Sane? Oh, yeah, he does handball it, Sergio Busquets. Don't think you're going to get a handball for that, though, because it looked a bit like too slow-mo, didn't it? It's not a penalty, no, it's a free kick. They've not gone back to that. Sebastian, you've not been timed out at all. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I need to write this down. I love that film and I will forget about it. Hip hip hooray for Christmas Vacation. I didn't watch it last year. I've wrote 2 films down that I don't normally watch at Christmas. Lethal Weapon and National Lampoons. You've got to start watching them now. It'll be Christmas before you know it. It's 4 weeks today. Christmas. 3 weekends. Free kick hits the wall. Home Alone's brilliant. I'm keeping it back. Don't ruin it for me. No spoilers. I haven't watched Scrooged for years, Toby. Played the game doesn't mean mastered it. I mean, Eto said it will be Cameroon versus Morocco in the final. Hyundai, my favourite thing about... Oh, Spain are on the break here. No, he's all right. He's all right. My favourite comeback to any... And I've had... I'm not going... And again, I'm not going to be an arsehole. I'm not going to tell you the player who did this to me. I was having a conversation in the last year or so, and an ex-player basically said, well, yeah, you've done quite well, but, you know, fan opinion's never going to be as good as a person who's played the game. And I said to them, and I've said it on here before, I said, well, you know, we'll have to agree to differ, won't we? Because I know for a fact that a lot of ex-players know next to nothing about the modern game. So how does that benefit the viewer if you've played the game, but you don't watch the current game because things change. Like football's changed massively in the last 10 years. And I said also, so you're telling me that Paul Gascoigne knows more about football than John, who spends his life watching it. Paul Gascoigne is one of the best players I've ever seen. Would you sit and have a chat with Gascoigne about, the tiki-taka, or what he thinks about Eric Ten Hag, or whether Foden should play ahead of Mounts? I don't think Gazza, as much as I love him, would have a bloody clue. Guns of Navarone, Force 10 from Navarone for Christmas, says Ronnie. I haven't watched them in years. Hi Mark, have you seen Top Gun Maverick? It's a great film. I respect your opinions on football and religion. I try to follow the teachings of Jesus, says Tony Shannon. I have seen Top Gun Maverick twice. This should be it. Yes, it's a goal for Germany. It's one. I don't know why I'm celebrating. I predicted there would be a goal, and there is a goal. I don't know why I'm celebrating this. I just think it's good for football. It's good for football, isn't it? Unless you don't like Germany, which, look, I can't be arsed with all of that shit. I just want to watch good football, and I think Germany in the last 10 minutes have come back, and I think they deserve the equaliser. I don't know what Spain have been up to. It's a lovely ball. He's onside, and is it Fulkrug? Musiala again, part of it, and Fulkrug takes it onto his right foot and roofs the shit out of it. Straight into the top left-hand corner. I tell you what, the keeper's not saving that. He's absolutely battered that. I tell you what, the ball moves quick there. That ball does move fast, and it elevates quick, doesn't it? Japan are going out anyway, London. Japan were going out anyway. 1-1. And I look, Japan blew it this morning. I'm so gutted with Japan, but they blew it. Do you feel alienated by some media outlets because you have the largest fan channel, says Ray? No more than I have done for the last 6 years. No more than we have done for the last 6 years. It's a horrible industry, It's a horrible industry in the main, and people lie and cheat to prosper and damage others. And I've done a lot of things in a lot of different jobs, and this is the worst industry I've worked in. And I've worked with criminals. Hulkrug would never be able to score that, says Mum. And Japan is just like Saudi Arabia. They was brilliant once and returned to normal later, says Raz. I think 1-1's about right. I think Spain deserved to go 1-0 up and Germany deserved to equalise. And I think it's been a cracking game. And I tell you what, to end week 1 of the World Cup with this game, it's restored my faith in this World Cup. Now, hopefully it can kick on. This is the sort of game we should be getting in the World Cup, where two teams want to win. And yes, Spain have dominated the ball, but you cannot deny that from minute 1, Germany have tried to win this game. Yes, it's got high quality players, but that's relative. Germany against Spain is high level, head to head. But there's been loads of games where it's been head to head. And, someone's gone down here. Coke's gone down. Coke's gone down. He's trying to have a look at Rudiger. Oh, no. That's nothing. I thought he'd thrown an elbow, but there's nothing in that. Enrique's going like that. That's a bit naughty from Enrique because it wasn't. Japan blew it today, yes. Very disappointed. They had the chance today to win. And if they had won, this wouldn't have been enough for Germany. Have you been to the USA? So, what states, says Dave? I had the chance to go to United States and go to Disney World, Florida, and I didn't go. And if I had gone, I wouldn't felt like I'd been to the United States anyway, because it's a bloody theme park. That's not visiting a country, going to a theme park. I've got friends who've been to Mexico. They haven't been to Mexico. They've been to a 5-star hotel in Cancun that they don't leave. That's not going to a country, in my opinion. So, no, I haven't been to the United States. I mean, technically it is. It's like paying for sex, isn't it? It's sex, but is it really, And it's like going to a theme park in America and not really visiting it. But no, I've got a few opportunities to go to America coming up. I love the Super Bowl, and there's a Vegas Super Bowl coming up, which I think I'm going to go to, but hopefully I might get invited to by somebody because I do quite a lot of watch-alongs for the Super Bowl. There's the F1 in Vegas next year, which I want to go to. And there's the World Cup, which I'm going to go to. And also, United are going to be on tour there next summer, which I want to go to. So there's enough opportunities to go to the United States coming up. I don't know whether I'm going to go to the first Vegas Grand Prix, though, because that's going to be crazy. Never heard Disneyland compared to prostitution. No, yeah, but I know a lot of people who travel, but they don't travel. Like, I like to go somewhere and learn something about it. Like London. I haven't done London, Buckingham Palace, Tower Bridge in years. But I go to London loads, and I go to different parts of London to do different things in London. Like, London's an amazing city. I love London. It's got its own feel. It's like, I live in the UK. You go to Manchester or wherever, and they're great places. But London, it's like Dublin. It's got this capital feel. It's got this history feel. There's so much to it, and I don't think I'll ever discover everything about London. Like, there's a brilliant YouTube channel about London where this guy just does London walks, and he's done fucking loads. But I do agree with that. Like, I do have friends who've been to, like, Mexico's the one that stands out, where they've been to Cancun, and they go for 2 weeks, and they're all inclusive. I had a guy at work. He was like, "Oh, I put loads of weight on." I was like, "Why?" He says, "Well, I went to Mexico and it's all inclusive. So you're in the swimming pool and you can have a cocktail." And I was having these like chocolate cocktails at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I know just getting as much as you can out of the all inclusive. And I said, "Did you visit anywhere?" No, you can't do that. You don't do that. Morata's in. Great tackle. Yeah, you don't do that. They won't let you go out. You're in your hotel compound for 2 weeks. So you went to Mexico. You flew hours, and then you stayed in a hotel for 2 weeks. Same area. Yeah, it was great. Well, you did go to Mexico, but you didn't go to Mexico, did you? Because you saw fuck all about Mexico. You just saw a bloody commercial hotel building with a swimming pool and a load of nice food and drinks. And that's why, if I did go to Disneyland, I wouldn't count it as going to America, because all I'm going to see is a bloody bloke dressed up as a mouse and a load of theme park rides. If you are going to Mexico for Christmas, enjoy. I don't want to put people off. What a brilliant tackle it was. Spain are pushing to try and win this now. It's probably not safe to go out in Mexico yet. I think that's why they don't let them. Geezer says London's an awful place to live. Everyone's moving out. It's gone downhill. I was driving through London to go to the Sidemen charity game, and I couldn't believe how quickly I got into London from where I live in the Midlands. It took me an hour to drive from the middle of the UK to London. And then when I was in London, it took me an hour and a half to travel about 5 miles. It's ridiculous. The traffic's a joke. No, but look, people take the piss in that, but I'm allowed to have an opinion, and I think if I know, I'm not trying to be offensive, because I know somebody who might be watching this who'd go, "He's talking about me." I'm not. I'm talking about loads of people. You'll ask them, "Have you been to America?" "Yeah." "Where'd you go?" "Disneyland." Fuck off. Fuck off. "Have you been to Paris?" "Yeah." "What? Fucking Euro Disney?" "Yeah." You've not been to fucking Paris. You've been to a fucking theme park. That's not going to Paris. Well, it is. It says it on my passport. Well, yeah, but that is like what I said. It's like saying you've had sex when you've paid for it, isn't it? It's not a real experience. And like I've been on holidays where I've been to Mallorca in Spain, I've been to Portugal, and I'll book the villa myself, I'll book the flights myself, and I'll book a car myself, because I can't stand a package holiday where you're in this hotel and that's what you're doing for 2 weeks. I went on a holiday when I was about 7, and we went to Ibiza for 2 weeks, yeah? And all we did for 2 weeks, and look, respect, it's not, I was taken on holiday, some people don't go abroad. And all we did for 2 weeks was get up in the morning, have breakfast, go to the shop to get a big bag of crisps and drink, because we didn't have dinner as part of the package, stay by the pool or the beach, and then in the evening go out for a meal for 2 weeks. That was our experience of Ibiza. And when I got older, I was like, I'm not going to these countries that is different culture to me and staying in a fucking hotel. So when I go to Portugal or whatever, I'll get a car, I'll go to the villa, and I'll drive around the country and have a look. And some people love it. We went to Mallorca about 3 years ago. Went into a really nice hotel, Safira Palace in Palma Nova. Really nice hotel, right? All inclusive. And every night we left the complex to go out into the town for drinks. There was people who were there for 2 weeks who never left that hotel in 2 weeks. And it was in a town. And you could just walk out. There was a gate. The beach was like 5 minutes walk away. They never went to the beach. So they've come to a hotel to just stay in a hotel for 2 weeks. I'm like, I can't get my head around that. I can't get my head around it. Mark, did you ever watch Bold and Bankrupt as Connor? No. Anyway, back to the game. I've really enjoyed this game. You can tell I'm enjoying the game when I'm telling stories as well. But hopefully it'll finish 1-1, because I think both teams don't deserve to lose. I feel safe here living in Mexico City for 5 years. Certain areas I wouldn't venture to. Been all around most of the country. It's amazing. Relax, some people in the chat. Just do your research, says Jonathan. They've all watched Narcos, and they think that you can't go into Mexico without being, shot or worse. I know loads of people in our United Stand community and here who are Mexican, and one of my biggest disappointments about this World Cup is Mexico. I've always liked them as a team. I think they're a team that always, boxes above their weight compared to the Brazils and the Germanys, but they normally play good football. And the disgusting thing about Mexico this tournament is they've come into it and they've played like fucking, I don't know what they've played. They've played so defensive. And I've never been to Mexico, and I would love to go to Mexico, because it's the bridge between North America and South America, really, isn't it? There could be a goal for Germany. Oh, nearly. Sane, great work on the left. Tried to cut it back in. Goes for a corner. Mark, when you visited Melbourne and Sydney, says KD, I do need to go to Australia. It's not as easy as just popping down there for a couple of days, though, is it? I've got some family who are going to Australia next month. I think they're going like 9th of December. They're going for Christmas, but they don't come back until like the 3rd of January. So they're going for like 3 or 4 weeks. I agree, Mark. I'm currently living in Spain, and my goal is to learn Spanish, but also get into Spanish society, not get drunk and speak English 24/7, says Marcus Music. Good luck with that, mate. So this could be the last action of the game. It's a corner for Germany, and the keeper comes and takes it like he's got glue on his hands, and it finishes 0-0. And I tell you what, game of the tournament. It might end up being a shit World Cup, and a lot of the games have been shit, but it doesn't mean that every game will be shit, and that game is what we wanted every bloody game. That's what a group game should be. You're not going to get knocked out in the group stage. Have a go. Try and get the points. Brilliant game. Thoroughly enjoyed it. That's what this World Cup should have been about. That's what we got in Russia and Brazil on the regular. It's taken a week to get a game like that. We need more of that. Anybody watching, any teams watching, you've still got a chance. There's still another round of group games to go. Let's get more of that, because that was a fantastic game. I really enjoyed it. Super game of football, says Brian. It was brilliant. I really did enjoy it, and hopefully we can get some more of that. Spain don't have goals playing anyone decent, says Kenneth. Yeah, Spain's problem's always been scoring goals. 7 against Costa Rica was obviously a little bit of a, an unfair glimpse into them scoring goals. They didn't really create enough today. But Germany are a good side. And look, Germany now, maybe they go on and have a decent tournament. Because Germany are a good side, but they don't score goals either. So it deserved to be a draw. And ultimately, Germany are bottom of the group. But they will know now, win against Costa Rica. And they'll be going through as well. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget, tomorrow, since it's a draw, how do we know who's facing Ivory Coast? Is Ande is in again. The joke doesn't get old. And don't forget, tomorrow, 10 o'clock, Watchalong. Serbia are playing. It's the last 10 o'clock Watchalong and the last 1 o'clock Watchalong tomorrow. So make sure you tune in to pay tribute to those because they go after tomorrow. Mexico is amazing. I've stayed in Cancun, Tulum and Mexico City. The F1 is unreal there and people are lovely, says Tumbleweed. Lovely stuff. Shout out to Mexico. Take care, everyone. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Don't forget Wash and Go. Links in the description. You can get it delivered to your door. I do use it every day. It's fantastic. And you can also watch my video that I did, my advert with Wash and Go. Sort of like fused hopeful comedy with filming an advert. So give it a watch. It's very, very different. You might like it. The link's in the description. And we've got a video going up on the United Stand at 9 o'clock about the sale of Manchester United. Very interesting. We've got Kev on it as well. So literally 3 or 4 minutes time on the United Stand. We've got a video about the sale of Manchester United. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Speak to you in a bit. Loved that show. Some really good conversations. I lost my shit about pundits, didn't I? Speak to you in a bit.